Good evening, one and all in one, or good afternoon, or in the case of our very sweet Louise, wow, it's late. For most of us, it isn't late. It's hopefully somewhere around the middle of the evening. I, of course, am Michelle with YesMichelle Crochets, and tonight we are talking about all things book club. So I am noticing, of course, Louise is here, and she shared with me that she has caught the recording bug. I highly recommend it. I think it's a good place to be. And a wonderful welcome and hello to our dear darling Marty. Guys, I am so thankful that you all are here today. I'm hoping other people pop in, and as you do pop in, please do me a favor, hit the like button and join us in the chat for the comments. I am going to jump. Good evening, BB. Good evening. Guys, I'm going to jump right in to our book tonight because I want to accomplish the next chapters that we're going to be discussing. Please feel free to add your comments into the chat, and I'd love to hear your points of view for the things that we're going to be discussing. Of course, we're going to cover chapters 6 through 10 of our book, which is The Year of Yes, written by Shonda Rhimes. Excuse me. Oh, did I? Oh, I'm sorry. She's saying hi to Louise. I try. It's impossible. Let me be fair, clear, and direct. It's impossible to completely stay on top of the chat and simultaneously stay on top of my notes. And yes, your girl has notes. So let's start with chapter 6. And the title of this one is Yes to Surrendering to the Mommy War, or Jenny McCarthy is My Everything. I love how you doing, Coley? Good to see you. I love how she gives the Jenny McCarthy explanation because I'll be honest with you, I kind of pre-read all the titles of each chapter in advance, and when I read it, I'm thinking, um, I don't know what I think about you right now because I know that I don't necessarily no shade or dislike toward Jenny McCarthy. I find her to be quite entertaining, but that's not who I would lean into for mommy advice. But she goes on to explain that's the exact same name of her nanny. And she discusses how when she first met her nanny, she was interviewing her and then realized she was the one being interviewed. Was this going to be a good fit for Jenny McCarthy to come in and not just be in the supportive role as the nanny for the family, but she also shares with Shonda that she's there to be her nanny as well. And that's an interesting take on it. I found it interesting from the concept that I, as a child care provider, have told many people in most of my interviews that I'm not just considering your child for my care, I'm considering whether your entire family will be a good fit for my care. And when I lean in and trust my gut that the family is going to be a great fit, I'm usually right. And when I don't, it's not. Every time my internal voice says, this is more work than what you're charging, it has been a problem. So back to the book. Um, Shortly after being hired, of course, Shonda was taken aside by Jenny and told, you know, I'm your nanny too. And Shonda revealed that she felt legitimately and validly overwhelmed by the experience of parenting. She was parenting a baby and a toddler at the time, and to have someone say, I'm here for you too. That was amazing. Good evening, guys. Come on in. Thank you for being here. Hello, Sugar. Oh, I missed it. Hello, Sugar. Uh, you know what? I love a good hot mess. It matches my mess, nonetheless. And like I said, that was, a revelation for her. And what I love about Shonda's storytelling technique is that she shares with us that she needed it. And at least she appreciated it instead of recoiling against it. But some of that also has to do with the fact that she suffered from a consistent case of imposter syndrome. And she also shares with us something she did that was a critical mistake. That critical mistake was the fact that she often said, when people ask the big question, how do you do it all? She shied away from it. Oh, well, we just make it work. No, the truth is, you have a team or a village who helps you do all things. I don't have Shonda money. I don't. I make it work. I lean into friends if I need a mental break, and I ask people to help me out. I am the backbone to the families that I provide care for. They know they can go to work to earn the money that provides the life that they give their children, because they leave their children with me. And I'm going to make sure that the developmental milestones are being checked off. And if something is amiss, I'm going to let them know, hey, we need to be looking at this. We need to be working on this. That's what Shonda did. So, I'm sorry. And again, I'm really relying on my notes because I do have a full-time job. So this is secondary to me, but it's not unimportant. It's extremely important to me. Um, and here's something that I have found to be true. And she spoke about this in the book. The fact that everybody wants the dream answer or the dream solution. Oh, well, I just woke up that way. No, you didn't. You got up 2 hours before the average person gets up for a glam squad to come in and do the hair and do the makeup. For me, it was her connecting the dream belief that she could get the Whitney Houston hair. If she got the Whitney Houston hair, she would look like a certain thing and she would act like a certain thing. And the reality of it is, you don't. You won't. And Whitney wore a wig. Deal with it. It's the truth. If we stop giving people the Instagram mentality that we live these perfect lives that we don't live, or that we do it all and we have it all and we are every woman, yeah, we make those milestones impossible for others to achieve. It's not helpful. So, um, the fact is, independence, doing it all by ourselves, is totally smoke and mirrors, and we need to stop doing that to others. And for many, the wig is really the team that supports us. How do we succeed? Successful, powerful people have a team that help them. That's the truth. Most people don't tell that they have a team, or that they have a person that comes in and cleans their house twice a week. Yet their houses are always, home and garden picture ready worthy. No, they're not working 40 or 60 hours a week, taking care of young children and keeping everything pristinely clean unless somebody else is doing it, unless they're doing it overnight. If they are, God bless them. That's not my testimony. I cannot and I will not. I will be very honest and very clear to anyone who ever asks, who is my team? My children. My daughter, legitimately OCD minded child that she is, adult that she is. She's the one who, when she comes in from work after I'm spent from being the child care provider, sees me head to my room so that I can decompress and be a whole person. Hello, welcome in. I am so sorry. Guys, forgive me if you come into the room and that I don't recognize you immediately. I am really trying to get through all the chapters, but it doesn't mean I'm not happy you're here. I'm excited and I thank you for being here. So, like I said, I go decompress and take off the childcare armor, and she does what I call the little mini Mary Poppins. She cleans up everything. If I've already prepared dinner, she cleans up the kitchen, puts away everything, and makes it picture ready for the next day for me, because 9 times out of 10, I may not come out of my room. She will push in and say, hey, have you eaten? Make sure that I'm on track with the things that I need to do, unless there's a note on the door that says I'm live, and then she won't cross that threshold. So I'm grateful for those experiences and my support team. I have other people in my real life who will call me up and say, "Hey, haven't seen you in a couple of weeks. You want to go out to dinner tonight?" And if I can make it, I do. And if I can't, I'm honest about the fact that I can't. But that for me is something unusual. I don't often like to go out. So they have to kind of pull me out of my shell to get me to do those things. And Shonda shared with us that in a conversation with a mom before she became a mom, she had the audacity to take this lady's inventory. Her statement was, "Why in the world would I hire somebody to take care of my baby?" I mean, seriously, that's just lazy. The mom in me wanted to slap her. She's telling the story, and I'm thinking, girl, I know you didn't. I know you wouldn't have done it to me. Now, what you did to somebody else, that's your business. But I dare you to come to my face and take my inventory on how I mother, how I parent, not and walk away with your face still intact because I will crack it verbally. I won't hit you, we hope. But I will crack your face because how dare you? How dare you tell me that I'm not a good mother or I'm not, or that I'm lazy? Because I know that there are other people who can help me do all the things I want to do by asking somebody to step in my stead, do the things that I'm not equipped to do. I'm not the greatest domestic. I know that. My daughter is far better at it. We cohabitate. As such, she takes on that mantle. When she didn't live with me, I absolutely hired somebody to come in and clean my house because, again, that's not my testimony. It's not my thing. So we need to find the areas that we're strong in, we're good at, and lean into those things. Those things we're not good at, but that need to be done. Absolutely. If it's something you can afford to do, hire somebody else to do it. Do not cross it, examine yourself or penalize yourself because something isn't within your wheelhouse. Let's be realistic. We all have strong suits. We all have areas where we're not so strong. And it's okay to ask for help. That's why no man is an island is a real statement. So forgive me, I'm getting warm because I've been in the living room where it's a little bit cooler. Yes, the saying "it takes a village" is very, very real. We need to accept and understand that. So, like I said, how, y'all, how dare anyone open their mouth to shame a parent for recognizing and take a parent's inventory in my presence? You really don't want to do that. Whether it's my inventory you're taking or someone else's, don't do it in front of me because I promise you, you will not like the person you see on the other side of me because there's two me's. There's nice, sweet, yes, Michelle, and there's I dare you. I will so take you down to the microcosm of who you think you are and read you for filth. So, okay. Then, of course, there is Chris number two. Chris number two appears, and we discover that this is her best friend. This is the person she has delineated the duty of godparent to. This person comes into her home right after she recognizes she's overwhelmed, but can't do anything about it. She hasn't showered in days. She's wearing filthy clothes. She smells. Her statement, not mine. I didn't smell her. Amen for that. However, Chris comes in, doesn't judge her, doesn't shame her, takes the baby, and says, "Go take a shower." And she does. I think she mentioned in the book, and correct me for those of you that have read it, she fell asleep in the shower because she was exhausted, overwhelmed, trying to live the fantasy parent as opposed to accepting the reality parent. This is a woman who, at the time, had two top 10 shows on television every Thursday night. And she took on the mantle of being a full time parent too. I don't know how she tried to do it. I would not have. So let's move a little bit further along in this particular chapter. And if you'll notice me focusing hard on this chapter, it's because for me, it was pivotal. I'm assuming those of you who are parents will absolutely understand what I'm saying about the importance of being each other's leaning and safe space as opposed to constantly checking others' inventories and saying, oh, that's not a good mom because she doesn't bake cookies. I do bake cookies. And guess what? If I got a choice between baking cookies and losing 2 hours of sleep that I desperately need, or going to Sam's Club, Costco, or wherever I may go to get those cookies, you getting them Sam's Club cookies every day, twice on Sunday. It's me. So, and the reality is, and this is the thing that we pretend isn't our new normal. Most families cannot turn to their family members and say, okay, I'm about to have another child in my life. And which one of the aunts or the grandmothers or whomever is going to watch the baby? Because in reality, most of those aunts and grandmothers are still working full-time jobs. So they're not available to take care of the children. The fact is, your kids are probably going to go to daycare or some home care situation, whatever it is. There is no one that should feel smart enough, strong enough, or dare to take your inventory because you lean in to accepting the help of a community person outside of your family and your home. Is it scary to do so? Absolutely. That's the reason we do checks and balances to make sure the people we're putting our children with are going to give them love, care, support, and safety. Beyond that, do what feels right for you. So, don't judge other parents who ask for help with their kids while they work. If you do, you're out of pocket, and that's not your business. If you mind your plate, you have no time to notice what somebody else is doing with theirs. Excuse me. Um, Shonda says being a mother is not a job. And again, this is a point where I bristled initially until she elaborated. It is who you are. It is not something that you get time off from. There is no way you can renegotiate your pay structure, and you can't quit. So, no, it's not a job because I can do all of those things in my job. So, it's also not the most important job you'll ever have. No, 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 no. The most important job I've ever had was the one that paid for the roof over my head, the food in my mouth and the mouth of my family, and made sure that we were safe, healthy, and secure. Whether that was the childcare job that I do or the part-time jobs that I did in addition to childcare, because I'm a single mom. So I have to do double income in a single body, and that's a challenge. But I made it work. I also, people have said, well, you homeschooled your daughter and had a home daycare and worked outside your home, all while your youngest child, was undiagnosed with several intellectual disabilities. How did you do it? Barely, barely. Hello, Rachel. Welcome in. Of course, I am on a tangent. Please forgive me again if you're in the room or maybe you're a lurker and I haven't greeted you. Either I don't know you're there or I'm so busy running my mouth and I only have a brief window of time and I've already been talking for 20 minutes. Nonetheless, how did I do it? Barely. Who suffered? I did. I didn't take my medicine the way I was supposed to. I didn't eat the way I was supposed to. My health went down. Everything shut down. And when I was on the pinnacle of falling off my planet, I'm lucky enough that people around me stepped in and said, here's what we need to do. This is what you need to do. This is what we will do to support you as you do those things. So, again, sometimes the village has to step in, take our inventory, and help us fix our wagon. Oh, thank you both. Thank you so much, Rachel. Sometimes I need to say what I need to say. So, on to chapter 7. Yes to all play and no work. I'm going to gloss over this super, super fast by merely stating the following. Hot mess mama, that's me all day, every day, and even more on Sunday because then I'm not working. But in an effort to say yes to the new experiences, the new opportunities, and the new challenges that you're going to undertake in your year of yes, should you choose to accept the assignment, please remember when you're saying yes to something new, you might just be saying no to something that may be important to you. You have to decide and prioritize what's important. Is it important for you to go to a bungee jumping excursion when one of your children is going to be receiving an award? Maybe you've already planned for that excursion, but you find out about the award last minute. You have to pick the priority. There are things that are going to suffer. There are plenty of times that I've missed things because I did say yes to something else. And for me, the choice was to do the other thing. There were times I can distinctly remember when my son was first running cross country for his high school team, new at it he was, but I chose to go to an event that in the long run was going to help me as a child care provider. So I missed him run. Did he forgive me? Absolutely. Did I feel that was the right decision? Absolutely. But there were other times friends have invited me to go somewhere or do something, and I prioritized being at home, saying no. There have been times, and I think you guys saw it pretty clearly last week, where this is extremely important to me. Hello, Amber, by the way. And as important as our relationship is and our conversation is, I needed to prioritize making sure my family was okay. Turned out they totally were. And yes, I cross examined them for interrupting, but only after I made sure they were okay. So you have to make conscious choices. For me, this chapter engulfed in one statement is want to play. Because for Shonda, she was on her way to a very important event that she'd said yes to. And her little one, who used to call her honey throughout the book, suddenly didn't call her honey and said, want to play? She had her glorious dress on, the earrings, the makeup was done to the nines. What did she do? She chose to play. And I'm glad she did because it tells us that she leans into her experience as a mother. And yes, some things can wait. And yes, it's okay to say no. I'm sorry. This isn't going to work for me. I need to prioritize my family. So that gave me a little strength to be able to say these are my boundaries and this is what I'm willing to do. Now, on to chapter 8. Chapter 8, yes to my body. I'm going to make this one super quick because your body is your body. I'm not taking your inventory on whether you choose to be whatever size you are or you're choosing to make direct changes to who you are and how you present in your body. That's your business and I'm not in it. Anyway, in this chapter, Shonda calls herself fat. And at the time that she started her year of yes, she was the biggest she had ever been. While she tells her reader, and I'm gonna pause for a second. I can't help but laugh every time she says gentle reader. Because for me, that was an Easter egg of foreshadowing of the fact that she was going to be making a relationship with the author of the Bridgerton series. And I love Bridgerton. I think some of you might as well. And if that's the case, this becomes a little funnier to me. So she decided that she no longer wanted to show up in her body the way she had been. And she made direct and important changes to do something about it. And she did exactly that. Now, chapter 9. Chapter 9 says, yes to joining the club. This was fun for me because a lot of times, and maybe you guys have this in your professional experiences. Um, she was invited to the Women in Entertainment, and I'm reading it because I don't want to make a mistake. Uh, the Women in Entertainment, Sherry Lansing herself created this event, and she was going to be in the room when she gave a speech there. She said, okay, to her publicist, Chris, without an argument. Huh? Yeah. The thing she always repelled and rebelled against, no, don't even ask me, am I coming? I'm not. Don't even invite me because I'm not. Oh, you can invite me, but I'm not. So, and oh, this is my testimony. This is really me. I will say no before yes all the time. But in this conversation, she said yes. He's like, are you sure? Yes, yes, yes. I'll do it. I'll absolutely go. There was no chicken bone conversation. There was no argument. It was merely a yes. Um, and for her, this is a moment of major growth because she didn't freak out. She accepts ordinary fear flight experience, and at the same time, she does it anyway. And for me, that has always been a statement I've told my kids. I think I told you guys last week that that's something I teach my family. I teach others. Do it anyway. Are you scared? Sure. Are you afraid of the outcome? Of course, you may be. But at the same time, if it's something that the outcome of this activity or event will net you a positive experience, you can't let fear be the barrier to keep you from doing whatever it is. Start a YouTube channel, speak in front of a crowd, do whatever it is you're afraid to do. Do it anyway. Let the fear be the fear, but do it anyway. So, this was a moment where she was among her peers and recognized, despite the fact she was equally accomplished to the people in the room, she didn't know them. She did not know them because she'd spent so many years recoiling and refusing to participate. She didn't know them, and truth be told, they didn't know her. So don't question how others see you. I add that caveat to this statement because when someone's complimenting us, I'm guilty of this, others are guilty of this, we dismiss. Oh, somebody says, oh, you're the greatest, whatever you are. In my case, I've been told, you are an amazing cook. No, I just follow a recipe. I do and I don't. Truth be told, I do and I don't. A lot of what I do in the kitchen is instinctual. How something smells, how something feels, how something looks determines on how it turns out for me. But I'm that kind of cook. Some people are not, and if you're not, follow the recipe. I'm going to veer off. Those of us who are in the fiber community and crochet or knit or whatever we do what the pattern says. But if you look at the pattern as a recipe and you tweak it a little bit, you come out with your own kind of magic. And that's a good thing. At the same time, when somebody tells you you're amazing, please just say thank you. And that's a message to me too, because I don't. I blush, I shy, I cower. It's wrong. I need to stop. You need to stop. Stop believing that you're not everything people tell you you are if it's positive. Now, if they tell you you're horrible, now if one or two people tell you you're horrible, ignore them. If 10 people tell you, ignore them anyway, but then go home and make sure you're okay with you. If you're okay with you, run forward with that. If you're not okay with you, pivot. Now, on to chapter 10. We are scooting through this, guys. I am happy dancing because this is what I love. On to chapter 10. Yes to more of yes. Growth for Shonda Rhimes looks like excitement and leaning into event invitations and opportunities. She's also much more pleased with how she's showing up in her body. As she put it, she only needs one spank instead of having two pair on at the same time. Especially humorous to me because needing one spank is now my testimony as opposed to needing two, or just having to wear a size that I didn't like the number of. I don't like the number of the size I currently wear, but I'm over 70 pounds smaller than I was a year ago. For me, that's a win, and it looks good on me. Not arrogant, just honest. So, this is something that she highlighted, and I will absolutely say 100% this is true. Hello, my pebbles. It's good to see you. Anyway, this is the three typical reactions of most anybody receiving a compliment. They deny. Oh no, that's not me. That's not true. Or else they shudder when someone "Hmm." Like if somebody says, "Let me take your picture," instead of leaning in and giving them your best cheek. No, 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 that's okay. Or an embarrassed laugh. Because why would you say that? When the truth of it is, and I'm saying this to you, you are a complete and total badass. Yeah, I said it, and I'll fight you if you disagree because I know you better than you know you in that circumstance. You are a badass you, period. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm trying to be awesome. I'm learning to accept compliments because that doesn't come natural or easy to me. And I know it probably doesn't come natural or easy to you. But in this case, I will say, listen to the words of others. She said she questioned why everyone gave her compliments. Why do we shy away from compliments? And the person who was hosting the event, where the person had gone around to every table, and forgive me, I've forgotten that person's name. Oh, no, I didn't. It was Robbie Myers. And this was at the Great Women in TV uh, event. Forgive me if it was a dinner. I don't remember. I didn't add it to my notes. Anyway, when Robbie came to her to speak, she did something that she does. She made Robbie uncomfortable. She said, "Why is everybody rebuffing the statements that are being made about them when it's true?" And Robbie kind of sat there, lost, like, what are you saying? And then I guess they had a deeper and a more real conversation about the fact that indeed everyone had been trained, coached, and conditioned to dismiss. Thank you. Thank you. But trained, coached, and conditioned to dismiss and rebuff. We have been unfairly told that you're not supposed to appreciate who you are. When someone compliments you, you've been taught that the appropriate response is no, no. When in truth, the tiny little voice in you is going, oh, really? You see all of the work I put in to be who I am? Freaking amazing. Why can't we just be honest with one another for a minute and say, I'm appreciative that you recognize that I put effort to be who I am. I am a good mom. There are areas I could be better. Real talk. But I'm a good mom. I'm an amazing childcare provider. I have over 30 years experience in helping children go from barely able to raise their head to walking, talking, recognizing letters, shapes, colors, and all of the things that most preschoolers don't get exposed to until the age of 3. Usually by the time they're 2, my kids can do those things. Why? Because I'm excellent at what I do. Not arrogant, just honest. I know what I know. I was amazing at utilizing the information that had been shared with me through years of experience as a child care provider and working in a learning environment with teachers to help my daughter decode the way she learned and be able to teach herself, which is why homeschooling worked for me. It's also the very same reason why I knew homeschooling was the wrong answer for my son. Whereas my daughter needed a few years to pull back and not have to deal with the social responsibilities of school while trying to navigate, catch up, and move ahead in her learning experience and her learning story. So for me, having the space to pivot in that way was crucial and critical. Were there people who questioned it? Absolutely. I literally had a family member who, on multiple occasions, called the Division of Family Services questioning whether or not my child was being educated or was I keeping them at home as and I quote, wanted that my older child to keep an eye on my younger child because I didn't want to parent. Let's go back to the fact that I have over 30 years of childcare experience. How does that even make sense? But this is the story they told till the investigations were open. And as a result, nothing happened. The DFS worker comes in, inspects the situation, recognizes that my daughter is not only at that very moment that they're arriving, learning, but she's studying. I have a daycare in the other room that I am physically responsible for. My son is amidst all of this, and nothing is untoward. I gave the lady a coffee and sent her on her way every time it happened. So there's that. Let me catch this real quick because there's something being said. I understand what you mean about not wanting compliments or even knowing how to take them. We are our own worst critics. Nobody can hurt me any more than I hurt myself. That is the biggest true statement that I've heard today. Honest to goodness. We are our most dangerous weapon. I heard somebody say not long ago, can't nobody hurt me like I hurt me. She just said that too. Can't nobody hurt me like I hurt me. No one can take my inventory better than I can. And we've got to stop doing that. We hear those tracks in our head. You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You're not tall enough. You're not thin enough. You're not big enough. Your whatever isn't a whatever. Your whatever is perfect for you. For you. There's a reason that you hear the statement variety is the spice of life. I'm going to pause. I'm waiting for you to catch that because it's critical for you to understand. You are exactly who you're meant to be today. I hope with every day you grow, you improve on the perfection that you already are. But at the end of the day, put that crown on your head, accept your royal status, leave the eons of peons to the bottom of the well. You are the creme de la creme of you. You're the best you can be. When you stop doing, being, and trying to pretend you are everything everybody else has assigned you to be, and you just live your most authentic story, you will be happier than you've ever been, more successful than you ever thought you could be. And most of all, you'll sleep better. Stop there. You'll sleep better because you'll feel better. How do you do that? You stop listening to the voices around you telling you how to be you. Here's the fact. None of them have lived life longer than you, even if they're older than you. They haven't lived your life. They're still trying to figure it out from their perspective. Can they give you wisdom on what it feels like to be 10 years old because they've already been 10? Sure. But they've been their 10. They haven't been your 10. I can absolutely tell you without a question in my mind, I am the best Michelle, child care provider, mom, Michelle that I am. I'm the best Yes Michelle that I know. Or there are other people who are better at doing the things that I do? I'm sure there are. But here's the reality. I'm not looking in their windows to decide how to be me. I'm giving you me. I need you to give me you. And I think if we collaborate on being an us, we will get so much further than worrying about other people's issues. And as Pebble said, it's a mindset. You are enough to be yourself. Completely true. Guys, I have kind of ignored the chat for 40 minutes, and I want to hear what you guys have to say about the things that I've said, about the things that you've read. What would you like to share with me? And by the way, if you would please, if you haven't already hit like, yes, please hit like. But also, while you're in those comments sharing things with me, make sure you share with me what's in your cup. Today, my cup, flavored water. Excuse me. Rachel says, I agree with you. I've recently chosen not to surround myself with drama and people who make me feel bad about myself, I'm sorry. But absolutely 100%. Hello, my darling. How are you tonight? Blessed to crochet. Forgive me. I know your name's not Mary. I don't think it is. But remind me your name. And Marty is drinking lemonade. And Amber is grocery shopping while she listens. Absolutely wonderful. Get the groceries in. And thank you. I gave you a take a break channel shout out today. Oh, thank you. That was so sweet of you. And Pebbles is saying, great. I love how you guys cheer each other on. I was right. I listened to you as you were driving to church the other day, and I thought I heard you say your name was Mary, but then I couldn't remember if that was your name or your mom's name because you were both in the car. So that's how I remember that. And guys, I am the worst at remembering names, so please don't be surprised if in a week you see me tap your name and I call you by your channel name as opposed to your actual name, because the brain, it does pause. And that's okay, because that means I left room for other things. It's all good. Nonetheless. Right. This is why I remember that there's another name for me to consider. She said, this is my mom's channel. I help her with it, and her name is Kathy. Thank you. So, where are we with the information that I've shared, guys? I'd love to know what your individual thoughts are about what I've said. And yes, I said a lot, but I always will. I'm a chatty patty. It's what you get. Coley says there is cherry Coke Zero in her cup. Whoop. I love it. Delish. I can't have it at this hour of night because in a little bit I'm going to be jumping in the shower and jumping into bed. It's that time for me. But before I go to bed, I am so honored to get to spend time with you tonight. That makes me smile. And whoa, guys, did I do something to hurt your feelings? All it is, a free thing, no less. And I love a steal and a deal. Is to hit like. Thank you if you would, please. I greatly appreciate it. And for those of you that might be watching me on your television, if you hit the arrow up button, it'll bring up the whole menu for the YouTube opportunities. And there is a thumbs up and a thumbs down. Up. Pebble says, I see 18 thumb up. Yay! Thank you. See, one of the I think that's kind of a hallmark for content creators on YouTube who do talk. We have to kind of have the gift of gab, because for those of us who pre-record our conversations, Those videos that you see, we literally are just talking to a device. There's usually no one in the room. Well, thank you, Coley. Thank you. She sees 18 thumbs up, and there are currently 14 watching. That's excellent for a book club where you guys don't really always know what's going to come out of my mouth. Bless your heart, and I appreciate you. That's okay. That's okay. No sorry needed. Sometimes a reminder can be necessary. So it's still a good thing. Now, what what are your goals related to reading this book? Was it merely just to share a conversation with me? Because if it was, that's quite enough. But if you want to take it a step further, how do you see the year of yes impacting your 2025? Because for me, this is a restart button. I read this book more than a year ago at a critical time in my life where I needed to lean into yeses and stop saying no. Because, like I said, my default answer to anything and everything is no. No, I'm not going. No, I don't want to be bothered. And why are you asking me? Yes, I'm that girl. That makes me feel good. That really makes me feel good. If you're engaged so much so that you might have forgotten to hit the thumbs up button, or you in this case hadn't hit refresh, that's okay. I'm still grateful. But for me, this year of yes is now that I have a platform and an opportunity to make genuine engagement. Thank you. Thank you. Guys, I just clicked on Russ's statement of 589 subscribers now. This is where I am, and it's part of my development. And Marty says she is claiming her year of yes. This excites me. And Louise says, as I listened to the book earlier, there was so much that resonated with that. So much I resonated with Shonda. I remember being a young mom with two under two and feeling so overwhelmed. I was working 3 jobs and Hubs worked full time too. Whoa, girlfriend, I'm so proud of you. And you're a grandma now, so that makes it even more exciting because you survived it and you did a great job at it, by the way. Yes, yes. And shameless plug, not ashamed, asking. Guys, I still need your help with the watch hours. I am going to grab, ah, forgive me, I'm reaching right in your face, but my phone literally is right next to my iPad. Thank you, Coley. I love that cat picture. Love that cat picture. Oh, anyway, so I will share with you where we are as far. No, that is not what I want. Thank you. Where we are with watch hours, because this is the area that I really need to kind of amp up a little bit. Over 500 is great. That is the minimal monetization level. I do want to get to 1,000, and my goal is to get there by March 21st, which of course is my birthday. Russ, update, 590. Oh, I love it. I love it. And I thank you. Sincerely, I thank you. Now, as for the watch hours, we are currently, let me hit refresh because, yeah, we are at 1,901 watch hours. So, guys, if you are capable, able, and willing to, do me a favor. Clear your watch history and rewatch some of the playlists and my videos again. Engagement is crucial because it lets YouTube know you're enjoying what you're seeing, but most importantly, getting those watch hours up. It means everything to me. Once we hit a point of monetization, it allows me to kind of pull back a little bit on the daytime job because I'm literally this next week about to start interviewing. And the more time I have to spend on the daycare side of it gives me less time to invest in my YouTube. I kid you not. The last child left early today, at 4:30, and for an hour, I sat with headphones on my head to shut out all my extra noise so that I could focus on making the notes for today's conversation. So I'm putting in a legit amount of work and effort to bring you a quality product. And in turn, it needs to give me the investment back in the form of compensation. There is no pressure on you. I want to give you the best that I can give you. But the reality of it is, with any job, you want to get paid. This for me is becoming a job, and I want it to be. It's not a habit, it's not a hobby. And yes, it's fun, but you can have fun at your job. I do every single day, even when they're screaming. So, and Mary said, I will email you so you can get involved with a channel that runs the buddy list to help people with their watch hours. If this is a tube chat, or I forgot, I think that's the channel name, I'm already there. And I've seen you there. I recently did something on my channel talking about setting goals per your personality type. And see, I'm just getting to your channel. So I'm excited to get to know more about what it is you're doing. Okay. Well, guys, as you hear, she's doing amazing things. Here's my question to you as an individual, whether you're a content creator or not. What is it you're doing to give yourself growth in this year? Are you setting goals that are achievable? Marty has taken on her book life, as I like to call it, and she's doing the 12-week year. And I've excitedly accepted the opportunity to be her accountability partner. And in turn, she's becoming mine. I'm not yet done with the book, so I haven't started my week one. But I'm super excited because I'm not the kind of person who sets a year-long goal. I set a targeted goal for a brief period or a truncated period of time. Once I've achieved that goal, I check that box and move on to the next step. There are things that are going to be year-long events and activities for me peppered in, but they're very, very secondary to my primaries, which is in the next 12 weeks. Yeah, I guess it is a 12-week set. Um, Mary, forgive me. I don't know what this is. Okay, well then send that to me in email. I will definitely take a look at it. But we literally have 8 minutes, so I want to finish this. Um, I have, like I said, agreed to be her accountability partner. And part of that means finishing the book. So that is one of my goals to do the rest of this week while still trying to catch up on some crochet things that I need to get done and stuff like that. So, like I said, we are almost out of time. Guys, you all are so amazing. Thank you for being with me tonight. Thank you for your engagement in the chat. Thank you most of all for supporting something that I really didn't know until I started this how it was going to turn out. But because of each and every one of you, this has been one of the most exciting things I've done on my channel. I've shared with many of you more than once that I'm not comfortable with live conversations. This is a challenge for me, and this is part of my year of yes. Thank you, my darling. She hears my behind the scene rants, and she doesn't take my inventory when she listens. I love that about her. I am living this year one day at a time. Exactly. 2024 kicked a lot of people's butts. I got a dent in my rear end because of that year. Coley, I'm not sure what you're thanking me for, but you're welcome. I don't know what I've done. Honestly, I don't know. But you're welcome. Whatever I may have done, I'm glad I did it. Okay, wait a minute. Did I miss something extra? Oh my. I'm sorry. I didn't realize. Bless you. Marty can identify with what that feels like. She went through the exact same thing in 2021. I love that you guys are connecting. That means a lot to me. And I hope that for those of you that have channels that you will connect with other content creators that you're seeing in the chat. Excuse me. I needed that. I have run my mouth consistently for 55 minutes and could probably talk 55 minutes more, but I won't. Not tonight. Not any night if I can help it. Because again, I have to get up in the morning, make a video, and then run a whole daycare. Thank you. Thank you so, so much. Marty is laughing at me because she knows this girl is crazy busy, but excited about being crazy busy because it's so much fun for me. It legit is. I'm lucky enough to be at a stage and an age in my life where I can absolutely say, no, no. It's okay to say no because it gives me the chance to say yes to other things. I promise you I will. I promise you all, I will get some rest. That is why I keep glancing off to the side because off to the side is my clock, and I probably need to move it over here. But no matter where I put it, the clock still ticks. And with that said, guys, again, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. And a special, special thank you to Louise because it's after midnight, almost 1 o'clock in the morning where she is. And yet she's been here and she was here to enjoy this with us. That inspires me to continue doing what I'm doing. You guys have some fun tonight and into your tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for loving yourselves by coming and participating in this. I hope you find value in what I've done tonight and will find value in the future weeks as we conclude this book. But for now, I have to bid you adieu. I love you and I want you to be good to you today. I'll see you next time. Till then, you guys take care. Bye bye.